Hello and welcome back to Die Hard Vendetta, and in this part we'll be taking on the warehouse. It's not particularly a favourite level of mine. I'm not too keen on it. I don't hate it. I think it's kind of dull. A lot of the environment is sort of grey and industrial. So we immediately start off in the back of the lorry.
Sounds like I got company.
1, 2, 3. 3 more cases. We're still expecting a few more. Can someone check that we're getting another consignment? Get back to me when you confirm the next delivery.
And yeah, I do like the fact that we start off here. It's straight from the previous level. Well, for some reason we've lost our flamethrower and assault rifle, and left with just a silenced pistol.
Where's Lucy?
Oh, you think I'd tell you that?
Now, I decided to take the sort of smarter route and take them prisoner one by one. Yeah, you can see there's an area here, a network of buildings and structures. And you sort of have to navigate your way through.
Go to hell, McLean.
But yeah, with a bit of practice, you can sort of learn their movements, where they're going to be, and thus make your way through here without too much trouble. Now, this particular guard around the corner gave me quite a bit of trouble, because it's so easy to be seen by him from this corner. But with a bit of patience and practice, I sort of learned to arrest him without being spotted.
Where have you taken Lucy? Screw you! Assume the position.
Now, if you don't feel like taking them prisoner, you can just shoot them with the silenced pistol. But,
Yo, Ken, wake up. Open the gates, will you? Hey, Ken. Come on, I need to get this delivery made.
like I was saying, if you do use the silenced pistol, make sure you shoot them. You have to shoot them instantly dead with a headshot. Otherwise, they alert the other guards. And if you haven't noticed, there is a useful medkit there. Now, it is at this point of the game where the difficulty is ramped up. You are getting to the point where if the enemy sees you and shoots at you, you're dead very quickly. They start using high-powered rifles. Well, I'll say this now, but I think the next level is really one of the most difficult. This one is still like moderately hard. The level after this is hard. But we'll get to that when we get to that. And of course, word of warning, there is a guy with a minigun right there. And actually, from this point on, there's quite a few miniguns in the levels, with enemies facing right at you. Now, what you see there is a fuel for the rockets. And like the caption said, you have to blow up 10. But it is don't worry about it. It's a fairly easy objective to complete, because there are quite a number of these fuel tanks around. So as long as you keep your eyes open, you should find them with no trouble at all. Yeah, for me, this level seems too similar to the tuna factory. It's like we've had 2 levels in a row which fit this sort of grimy industrial theme. It's probably why I'm not too keen on this level. Now, a useful tip I'm gonna sort of tell you about now is that you start off with the silenced pistol with only 15 bullets, and even though I sort of go against what I'm saying here and I use a couple of these shots, well, what I'm trying to tell you is you want to save the ammunition for the silenced pistol, because the pistol can kill enemies without alerting other enemies. So it's worth keeping hold of. It's worth saving the bullets for this gun, because it will come in useful later. Now at this point I'm trying to think, is there a stealthy way I can do this? Turns out not really. Yeah, I have picked up an assault rifle, and I really should be using that now instead of trying to do this little stealthy thing here. Yeah, I'm trying desperately to get a headshot, and it's just not happening. But oh well. Yeah, sometimes stealth is the better option, but other times, yeah, just going guns blazing. Now in situations like this, the best advice I could give you is just to keep moving. And also aim. Well, you'll notice with enemies they have this pattern of shooting, then reloading. And, yeah. And the obvious advice is to keep moving while they're shooting, then when they stop to reload, you stop and then aim and shoot.
Lucy, is that you?
Help!
And it looks like we found Lucy
Hold on,
already,
sweetie, I'm
so
coming.
that's a good thing, I guess. But yeah, the Lucy character, yeah, she's all right. Like my main sort of problem with the character is that we've throughout the game we've had to rescue her twice already. One in the art gallery, 2 in the police station, and we're currently on the 3rd attempt, or the 3rd time we've had to rescue her. So for a supposedly feisty independent policewoman, we've had to rescue her numerous times. You know, I do like this game story for being a cool action type movie story. It does rely on the rescue the princess sort of storyline.
Keep your eyes peeled. McLean will be here soon.
We're gonna get him once.
Yeah, try not to do what I just did there and just blatantly walk into their vision. Try and get the drop on these guys here. You know, I wish I had my grenades from the previous level. That would be really cool to have here. But oh well. You know, I do really like these rifle weapons. They seem to kill enemies fairly quickly. And you don't even have to worry about getting a headshot. they are very effective. And so we're on our way to rescue Lucy, who's in the next room.
Code for this keypad. Lucy, no!
I love that. That's such a dickish thing to do.
That wasn't Lucy. Frontier, I'm coming for you.
Frontier placed a mannequin that looked just like Lucy and blew her up in front of John, just to fuck with him. That's kind of dickery I can appreciate. It's hilarious. Okay, for this next section, just start off in stealth mode and try and catch some of the enemies by surprise. Well, not really, that's universal advice for this game. Try and do that generally. In fact, I never go into a room, like, in action mode, unless I know there's already going to be an enemy facing at me. Got round here is a med kit. Oh, by the way, do you know that calendar? It was actually done by Susie, aged 9.
Can you turn that down?
What? This tune is kicking it.
And you'll be kicking the bucket. I'm sorry, that was terrible. You know, techno just isn't my thing. Let's see what else is on the radio.
If you like pina coladas and getting
Great
caught
stuff.
in the rain. If you're not...
And as fortune would have it, we're about to see an example of not being in stealth mode when you enter a room. Because I know at this point a bloke will come out to that door, so it's best just to shoot him straight away. Poor guy, didn't even have a chance. Now here's a good use of the fuel tanks, because in typical action movie style we just blow up the fuel tank and cause a big explosion. So that makes it fun. If you've got to give us a mission, you know, 10 fuel tanks to blow up, at least they do it in a entertaining way.
Nice.
And another med kit. I think there's quite a lot in this level actually. I guess that was their way of balancing out the difficulty, and they definitely helped. I think there's overall like 5 or 6 even throughout the entire warehouse. Now, as mentioned before, I recommended you keep some bullets for the silenced pistol, and this is why. This sort of room, there's lots of obstacles in the way, so you don't want to be caught in a gunfight in this room. So hopefully you've kept some of these bullets for the pistol, and you can sort of stealthily take out some of the enemies.
There's another barrel over here.
Be careful with the fuel. Highly flammable.
And of course, make sure you get headshots, because you need to take out these enemies in one hit. Otherwise they'll alert the other members. And looking at this sequence, it's kind of odd where there are enemies. been taken out, and you know they're being taken out a couple of feet away from their allies, and their allies don't really notice. But then again, that's game logic, so I can't really fault it. But anyway, with my cover blown, I just go in guns blazing. But fortunately, I had already taken out 2 of them, so this gunfight is a bit easier to do. In fact, my main problem is just the guys on the balconies. Now, another useful tip is these sort of firework displays. You shoot them and they go off, which I guess would be useful to distract enemies. And of course there are tanks placed around, but I was hesitant about shooting them because obviously if a tank blows up and you're near it, you die.
Stunning.
So my line of thought was to take out the enemies first and then worry about the tanks later. You see, there were 3 of those in this room, so destroying 10 is not really an issue. Now this section highlights a particularly annoying aspect of this level, and that's the sort of focus it has on platforming in first person. And this isn't like the previous sections of the previous levels where it's just a simple jump. It is now, but you'll see in the later half of the level it gets a bit more complicated. And actually this part's a bit tricky too, because if you fall you have to do it all over again. And really I'm not sure what they were thinking, having this emphasis on first person platforming. It's not exactly Mirror's Edge or Tomb Raider.
We need these moved to the launch area.
Jack, turn on the forklift. We gotta get this fuel barrel down.
That's a stupid place to store it, if you ask me. I didn't put it up here.
Quit talking and get back to work.
Yeah, now this section... Now the previous section, you might have thought that was a kind of a tricky platforming bit. This one's a lot more infuriating in my opinion, especially with the sort of jump controls of the game.
Hakim, you deserve a rest.
Hey, fuck you, McLean.
Ooh, get down on the floor, you asshole.
But you'll see why in a minute, and honestly, I would even go as far to say that this sort of platforming section should have really been left out the game. As you can see, you just get on the oh, by the way, make sure you don't hit that fuel tank there, because at that close range it will kill you. A mistake I actually made the first time. But yeah, you use the forklift to get on this platform, hit another set of switches, and you're off again. You know, I do like shooting enemies, while they're trying to make some vague threat. Kind of satisfying in a sense. And you can see the other switch has activated the second forklift. Now the fuel tank you saw on this set of platforms is actually important to progressing through the part of the level. You actually need to shoot it to blow a hole in the wall so you can get to the other side. And yeah, another aspect I'm not too keen on is this sort of waiting around on the forklifts. Yeah, this isn't really a fun section. Now what you're supposed to do now is go through that wall and use the other forklift to get on the ceiling. But I actually managed to do a little bit of sequence braking and jump on the roof from this forklift. And there we go, I just jumped straight onto the roof.
Looks like there's an exit up there.
No prizes for guessing where we have to go next. And this section, again, is something I'm not too keen on. In fact, this entire room could have been taken out, and I don't think it would have hurt the game at all. But yeah, pretty much go crawl, you know, go on the lowest crawl setting and slowly make your way across these vents. But I do have to give them credit for being for showing a little innovation. You know, John McClane, he usually crawls through vents. Now he's crawling on them. Now, before this point, I would recommend you turn the auto jump off in the sort of start menu game settings, because that makes the previous jumping across the forklifts a bit easier when the game doesn't auto jump you off just for being near an edge. Now at this point I do turn the auto jump back on just so you can make these jumps easier. And yes, I do consider jumping from that point, but I thought I'll play it safe. And that's just the advice I would give you for this section. Play it safe, take your time. Because if you fall from this point, you do die, and you'll have to do the entire level again, which isn't really that fun. And well, that's it for the first section of the warehouse. Please join me again in the next part. Well, we'll be finishing it off.